Hi everyone. Hi everyone, it's Hayley Stathis, the creator of the Kick Sugar Workshop Done For You kit. A few of you have asked for a little bit more of an idea of the content of the workshop, the style, I guess, just to see if it really resonates with you. Now, obviously, you can edit absolutely anything within the PowerPoint slides, any of the handouts, any of the materials at all are all designed so that you can edit them and really add your own flavor. But just to give you an idea of what's in here, I'm just going to go through some parts of the PowerPoint presentation so you can see you can see what's involved. So this is the one of the starter slides. So you'd have this on when people arrive. You'd be playing, I always play Sugar Sugar by the Archies. People seem to like that. And then this slide is up. I've actually included a couple of different versions just to, if you want to pick some colors that you like. And there's some here with a yummy cupcake. I've used this one before. People always like that. One here, if you're maybe focusing on cravings, or definitely if your audience are women, something like that. So then the presentation goes into, this is the first slide. Before I even introduce myself, I'm letting them know what they're in for, what's ahead of them, so that they can see that they're in the right place. They're going to learn a lot of different things about sugar, and it's going to appeal, something's going to appeal to everyone in the room. So this is basically also to show you guys the content of the sugar workshop. We cover what's so bad about sugar anyway. Some people know that sugar's bad, but they don't perhaps realize why or the full extent of what sugar can do to our body and all of the different ways it affects our health and all the different body systems that it impacts upon. We go through how to find hidden sugars, what happens to someone's body when they have too much sugar, and then also I talk about what happens to the brain when they are having too much sugar. So I talk about dopamine. We talk about the blood sugar roller coaster. That's a fantastic slide where you can literally explain how the brain really monitors how much sugar is in our blood. And also you talk about obviously insulin and its role and how it's really hard sometimes when you are on that craving and sugar high, then a crash that follows, and then you crave for more sugar and you're back at the top of the roller coaster, etc. I find these slides really helpful, so I'll skip ahead and show you that in a moment. I talk about artificial sweeteners. A lot of people still feel or still believe, unfortunately, that they are a better option. So I explain some research from 2017 that totally busts that myth. We talk about healthy sugars too, because a lot of people think maybe having agave or honey or maple syrup in huge amounts is better because, hey, it's in the health food store, it must be healthy. So I talk to them about that as well. Then I go into some practical ways on how to kick sugar. Naturally, so people can lose weight and feel better. I do a lot of weight loss in my clinic, whether that's what they're coming there for or it's normally one of their top 3 things they want help with. So obviously sugar plays a big part in weight loss. So you can always change this if you don't do weight loss in your clinic, but for me it's a big one. I talk about the underlying drivers of sugar cravings and how a naturopath or a nutritionist or whatever type of health coach, whatever type of practitioner you are, it's not just sugar that is causing these cravings. Sometimes there is something else going on with their health. Obviously, you all know this. So I talk about that. I talk about, hey, maybe your hormones are out of balance, or maybe you have insulin resistance, or maybe you have a gut infection like SIBO that's actually really driving these cravings and making it really hard for you to stop eating sugar. And then we do a mindful eating exercise as well in here. People love it, and I've got full instructions on how you can just make it work really well. And then, they have questions and answers at the end. There's a spot in here you can pop a photo of yourself. This is where you talk about you and why they should listen to you, and maybe a bit about your story and relate it back to sugar so they feel that they're talking to somebody who's a real person. Then we talk about what is sugar. I cover off, all the different things that they need to know. Like there's different types of sugar. We're looking, we're looking at carbohydrates, obviously, when we're talking about sugar, how the body breaks that down into glucose. I then talk about, really make them understand that, look, we're really looking at the quality of the sugar that we're eating, getting it from veggies and fruits and things like that, not worrying about how many carbs are in a carrot. This isn't a keto presentation. If you use ketogenic diets in your clinic, and I do sometimes for the right person as well, that's fine. But this workshop really, I designed it because as a practice builder, really to get people's interest, to get them in, to teach them something, to empower them, and then some of them hopefully will then become clients. So it needs to be broad. I've found in the past, if you're too specific with a particular workshop, it's not as successful. So we want to go big, broad topics, give them lots of information, and then, give them a reason to reach out to you if they want some personalized help. So yeah, we talk a little bit more about different types of sugars that are out there. We also cover off what sugar does to the brain and the body. I talk about the blood sugar roller coaster in here as well. So look, that's probably going to give you enough of an overview to see the content that's in there. If you have any other questions, then just hit reply to this email. I'm happy to answer them. We've had so many of you already purchase this workshop kit, which I'm just so excited about. I'm so happy that I can help other practitioners just to absolutely have the most successful practice. I feel really passionately about naturopaths going mainstream. I think we should be the must-have accessory, just like an iPhone or an iPod or whatever, a Fitbit or something like that. I think people need to realize that we have so much to offer and so much to give. And what I found in my experience is that means we've got to get out in front of people. We have to be visible. And doing a workshop in your own clinic or in your local area is one way to really raise yourself up as an expert and absolutely become that visible person, so that if they need a naturopath or they're speaking to someone and they think that, hey, maybe this person could see a health coach, a naturopath, a nutritionist, dietitian, whatever type of pracky you are, then you know what? They're going to think of you. You're going to be top of mind. So I'll leave it there. And as I said, if you have any questions, then just reach out. I am here to help. Thanks so much.